Okay, folks, so my phone now seems to only give me about 15 minutes or so I'll try to make it snappier, but anyway, this obviously, this is Sri Lanka, India. India is just, I think, portrayed as this entire gate hall, and then this is the gatekeeper, basically, is Sri Lanka. So, it's like, so this is zoomed in on it, this is Sri Lanka right here, and this is zoomed in. And so it's right on the corner, sticking out from the side of India that way. And the two dots there seem to represent these two islands of Pamban and Manam. What is it? Manam. Anyway, forget what the other one's called. They're basically together, they make like a bridge, almost like across from India to Sri Lanka. And it seems like in ancient times there was an ancient megalithic bridge there. But so it's a weird thing where this is a composite map in a sense that it's showing, like most of these maps of these gateways will show like one part zoomed in and one part panned out. So in this case, they're both partly the same part, because I think that this shows the overall god, which is or the overall gatekeeper, which is both Sri Lanka and the Adam's Bridge or Rama's Bridge or whatever you call these islands, Rama Kechu or something. That's his neck here, and then the back of his head is like this part over here. The northern, northern Sri Lanka, the northernmost tip, and maybe they might cut off the complete northernmost tip, because this part that really comes down there is actually a separate island. So this might just be showing the actual Sri Lanka, and then these Ramakechu Islands or whatever. What is it? Pamban and Mannar. Mannar is the other one. Pretty sure. Anyway, so that's like, and it's interesting that this one is one of the gatekeepers that's flipped. So that kind of changes my impression about that, because so far all the only ones that were flipped in this Afro-Eurasian side of that Book of Two Ways were the ones at the far sides, like the Siberia and Britain and Gibraltar and Almina. So I was thinking that's because they're close to the underworld. But this is India. So I have no idea what the reasoning is behind flipping him. Maybe flipping had a different type of significance than I thought. So anyway, that's a cool one. Here is a full study of, the Chinese one, just all in one stop shop meme comparison. So, showing, this is like showing Salish Sea shaped like this guy and the snake and the lightning bolt. And then this is the spaces between the jade parts cut out from it show the shape of Vancouver, southern Vancouver Island, and the this shape of these islands. So I made a new one of this where I got it at the right angle, basically, so they're both at the same angle. And it's still certainly inexact because they put Blakely down here, whereas really it's up here. But that's because they're having to work within this medium, so they don't have a lot of space. So they put it between the jaws of the snake because that's the only place it can fit. I think, especially when they're including this, which seems to represent this little channel that connects the anthropomorph's head to the zoomorph's upper jaw or whatever, upper lip. And so yeah, there you go. Pretty good thing. This really shows how Lopez really lines up now. Like everything really lines up a lot better. It's not exact, but like this corner here is either this or this. And then I'm guessing it's this actually. And then this kind of scoop out of it right there is this little indent right here. And then there's like the longer eastern and thinner eastern branch of it. And then Decatur. So anyway, and I'm guessing like in some ways Blakely looks like Decatur. Like I was thinking, did they mess up? Because this little part coming off Decatur looks like this part coming off Blakely. But I think this part coming off Blakely, if anything, probably represents this little eyelet next to it. So anyway, there's that. This is basically takes all of this just to explain what they were able to convey in this little amulet. A little necklace thing you could carry with you and, memorize that gate. Let's see, this is the yellow sea. So this seems to be called contrary face. And so because in the text next to Taiwan and Korea, it says, it says like these are the, it says the Bas of Nechen, and then it says the Caesars, and then it says they protect contrary face. So the only depicted gatekeepers are Taiwan here, shown upside down, and Korea. And so contrary face is right between them. So it seems to be, and it's certainly contrary, because like this, is this is this is Korea with his head and his body and whatever. Not Korea, what the hell? Taiwan. I notice in these videos a lot of times I fuck up my words and say like, yeah, I'm not like a flawless orator. But so yeah, this is it pointing this way. So it totally makes sense why the yellow sea would be called contrary face. The yellow sea is not depicted as such in the map. It's just shown as It's just shown as, let me get this around again. It's shown as these things. So those, in all the maps, those always mean water. So that means like a lake usually or something of that nature. And so here we have, let's see. We have Korea, which is these 3 ducks or whatever. Get your ducks in a row. So this peninsula right here, which is either part of North Korea or part of China. I'm not sure. I think it's part of North Korea. But so that is the front legs of the duck. This little bump here is like his chest. Their chest or whatever, the front one's chest. And then the peninsula itself, Korean peninsula, is like all 3 of their heads, which is why it's so wide. So, and they themselves are basically part of this contrary face, which is the Yellow Sea. So, you can see here, this is Korea. These are the front legs. And so basically this forms almost the entire northern side, I guess, of the Yellow Sea. And then Taiwan is just near the southern side. So this makes sense why it says that they are the souls of Nechen, the Baas of Nechen, I think. The Caesars, the keepers of his limbs in rage. They protect contrary face. So that tells me that contrary face is this, because that's what they protect. They're both on either side of contrary face. And you can really see here how they really, like basically one side of him is here, Korea, of course, and the other side is over here, and this is Taiwan and the Penghu Islands between. So let's say this is his tail, because a lot of them, they have a tail, and since the coast is a bit indented here, that could easily be his tail. So then it would make perfect sense that Taiwan would be his guardian, because it's right where he begins, just as Korea as well is, and arguably Japan as well. So, and it seems to be that there's the Bohai Sea, which is his head, and the Yellow Sea, which is also divided into the North and South Yellow Sea. And so this one, the South Yellow Sea and the North Yellow Sea, so I think those are this, because this usually just means a lake. So I think that might be the Bohai Sea, which is just considered to be a one sea, whereas the North and South Yellow Sea are kind of one sea, but kind of a broken sea. So I think that's what this means, where it's an oval that's split in 2. My suspicion is that refers to this part of the Yellow Sea, which is distinct from the Bohai Sea, and is kind of split in 2 by these, basically by Korea's feet and by this other peninsula here. So, may I pass with Shu in Newt? So Newt is the sea. I've come here from Obayados. He goes down applauding the affairs before Nechnech, that the snakes may. I have come here from Obayados after I found his water, that the snakes may go down to their holes in a boat. So I'm not sure what that means. Going down. Snakes going down to their holes probably has to do with going down to the underworld. Maybe the snakes are the priests or the Nechenites. Who knows? Oh yeah, this is the head of Sicily, so his name is Favignana. This is Sicily, and then this is like the zoomed in part, which is his face, his head. This is the... Alright, it's definitely about to cut me off, but yeah, I think I might have shown all this anyway, but that's all this stuff. And so like Beijing is right next to the contrary face guy. And here's where you can see the North Yellow Sea and the South Yellow Sea, and then the Bohai Sea. So it fits with the picture, which has a split sea and then another sea under it, or a split waterway. Oh yeah, I'm trying to think of